Every country has a capital, or at least that's what most people think. London, Paris, Tokyo, these cities define their countries. They hold the government, parliament, and leadership, but some countries don't follow that rule. Some never chose a capital. Others split power between multiple cities. And in a few rare cases, the situation is far more unusual. Here are countries that don't follow the normal capital rule, and the strange reasons why. Most people think Switzerland's capital is Bern, but officially, Switzerland has no capital. Not Zurich, not Geneva, not even Bern. Bern is only called the federal city. The Swiss constitution never names a capital. This happened because Switzerland is highly decentralized. Power is shared between regions called cantons. Each canton controls many of its own decisions. Taxes, education, and local governance are handled regionally, so naming one city as the capital wasn't necessary. Instead, the federal government simply operates from Bern. But technically, Switzerland still has no capital. This makes Switzerland one of the most famous countries without one. But it's not the only example. Nauru is even more unusual. It's one of the smallest countries in the world, just a tiny island in the Pacific Ocean. And it doesn't just lack an official capital, it doesn't really have one at all. Government buildings are scattered across the island. The parliament sits in the district of Yaren, but Yaren is not officially a capital. There is no central government city, no political hub. In fact, Nauru functions almost like a single town. The entire country operates without a capital, which makes it one of the rarest political setups in the world. Palao is another unusual case. The government originally operated from Koror, but a new capital was later built in a place called Ngerulmud. Parliament moved there, government offices followed, and Ngerulmud officially became the capital. But the new capital is extremely small. It has very few residents, and much of the country's activity still happens elsewhere. This creates a strange situation. Palau has an official capital, but it functions very differently from most countries. Some countries take a different approach. Instead of having no capital, they split power between multiple ones. South Africa is the most famous example. It has 3 capitals. Pretoria handles the executive branch. Cape Town hosts the parliament. Bloemfontein is the judicial capital. Instead of centralizing power in one city, South Africa spreads it out. This system dates back to political compromises. Different regions wanted influence, so instead of choosing one capital, they chose 3. This makes South Africa one of the most unusual political systems in the world. Bolivia is another country with a similar situation. Sucre is the constitutional capital, but La Paz holds the government. Parliament operates there. The president works there. So Bolivia effectively has 2 capitals, one legal, one functional. This creates confusion for many people, but it's entirely official. Capitals usually exist for practical reasons. They centralize power, they organize government, they create a political center, they also symbolize national authority. But some countries prefer decentralization, they spread power across regions, they avoid concentrating authority, and in very small countries, a capital simply isn't necessary. The entire country is small enough to function without one. That's why some countries don't have a capital at all. Others split power, and some use capitals in unusual ways, which challenges the idea that every country has a capital, because in reality, that rule isn't always true. Some countries simply don't follow it, and that makes them some of the most unusual countries in the world.